everyone, it's Alisa Tilsner and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Today I'm going to be showing you a sweet peach card. This one's pretty full on but also pretty easy. So let's take a look at the Sweet to start with. So we have the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, which has got 20 images in it and it is photopolymer. So I love the textures that you get within each of the images as well. I think they're pretty cool, and we're going to do a little bit of sponge daubering with two colors on all of our images today, so that's going to be super fun. And then we also have and I will get the proper name of it, peach dies. Pretty simple. And so we have dies to cut out each of the main stamps, these ones here. These ones cut out all three of them at the same time, but then they separate, so they're not joined together. And this one here will cut out close to the image and get rid of some of that space that's in there. Then there's also a branch and a couple of leaves and some flowers. I don't think that they match up with that one. Oh, look how many leaves there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a double one over here. So that's pretty cool. And then also a little frame that will go to some of these smaller sentiments in there. So it is a really, really nice stamp set and die. But we also have this gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper. So I've just pulled some out and we'll have a quick flick because it is so fresh. And I just love the colors. I love that piece there. And of course I love all the B side as well. Stripes, gotta love stripes. Peach blossoms and more stripes. More peaches. And more little blossoms. And some green. So gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So we are going to be playing with them today. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to bring in some Whisper White, basic white, I should say. We've changed over, haven't we? And I've got all my stamps set up. I don't need to do that. So we're going to start by stamping our 3 peaches, and I'm going to use Pale Papaya and Calypso Coral for this one. So I'll show you the first one, and then I will probably go ahead and do the rest and cut them out with their matching dies. So what we want to do is just first ink up in your Pale Papaya, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do 2 different techniques. So the first one is a little bit of rockin' and rollin'. So we stamp it and then we rock and roll into just the edge of the Calypso Coral, and then because I want a softer line, I'm going to come in with my sponge dauber and just soften that little edge around there so it's not so harsh. And I'll do that, and then I can stamp, and it will give me a really, now it looks a bit strange to start with, but as that dries, it'll actually turn out quite nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 of them. Okay, and then for the leaves, I am going to do the same type of technique, but I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, that out of the way, Pear Pizzazz, and then Garden Green. So just inking the first one up. I'm not going to rock and roll this one. I'm just going to ink up, grab my green, and then just add a little bit. Now I only need to add a tiny little bit of the Garden Green because it is quite a beautiful rich color, and that'll give me a lovely 2 tones. So I'm going to go ahead and do my main leaves and these leaves. With the flowers, I'm actually going to use Petal Pink and Calypso Coral instead of the papaya, so that will be really pretty as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do them and then also cut them out with the matching dies. Okay, so now we have all our bits and pieces, so it's time to start preparing some of them. What I like to do is just assemble my little peaches first. So I'm just going to bring in my little messy grid paper over here. And the great thing about these leaves is that you can have them facing any way that you like. So I'm going to have two going one way and one going the other, and I'm just going to, wrong glue, I'm just going to pop a little bit, you can use your Tombow, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue down and stick them on. That way when I'm preparing my card, and how you always do a mock-up of your card before you adhere anything, well I do anyway, this way you've got less pieces going around because you know that your peaches are going to be assembled anyway. So this way it just makes life a little bit easier when you're doing your mock-up. But of course I've already made my card, so I don't need to do a mock-up today. So we are going to be using, and I don't think I've cut down my card yet, so I will do that. So I am using a card base of Balmy Blue, which just goes beautifully. It's a beautiful blue to go with these oranges and greens. So I'm just going to trim that down. I like my card sizes to be 10.5 centimeters by 26, and if you are working in inches, that is about 4 1/4, close enough to almost 10 and... what's that? No, hang on. 10 1/4, and this is 4 1/8. Sorry. But at least when you have the trimmer, you can work in both inches and centimeters, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, so I'm going to score it at the 13 cent mark. Grab my bone folder out of my caddy, just to give it a nice crisp edge. Now the other thing that I really love to do in my card making is just to do little layers. Like I've sort of moved away from the full layers where we used to, I don't think I've even got a card where we would cut out an image, like a piece of layer, and then we would layer it so it was all even around the outside and go up this way. I've sort of moved away from that, and I've been starting to use a lot more little scraps. So, and of course we've all got scraps, so I love using them. And just layering them on one side of a panel instead of the whole matted type of thing. I think you guys know what I'm trying to get out. So I'm just going to adhere that. Actually, I might just use my seal for this. So I'm just going to adhere a little bit of the garden green, and of course it doesn't really matter that they're not the same size. Just going to get a little bit of garden green, just make sure it's even, and adhere that down, just sort of space it so it's evenly at top and bottom. And then my designer series paper, and I'm going to use the blue spots and make sure that is also even. I think it's even, might be a little bit bigger at the top. So then I've got my layering like that, just gives a little bit of extra, something different, I think. And I get to use all my scraps, so let's get that out of the way. And then I'm going to butt this right up against my card, edge of my card. You could pop it so that you've got a little bit of an extra blue, but for today I'm just going to pop it right up against the edge. Okay, now it comes time to stick all our little bits and pieces down. So I sort of wanted to make it look like they were hanging from a tree branch. So I'm going to just pop my adhesive, and I want my tree to sort of look like it's starting from the top of the card. So I will pop it like that on a bit of an angle, because we want to put all our buds and our peaches on there as well. And then the next branch, and I'm going to make it sort of sit under there like it's an extension of the tree. And of course, where the little spaces are is where our flowers will go. So now I am going to pop in my peaches. I'll put them in first. So that way, if I find that I can't use all my flowers, it's not, it's not a big issue than trying to fit everything in, because it is a pretty full card, this one. All right, so I'm going to pop one down here so he's like hanging off the branch. Another one down here, perhaps off of this branch. Whoops. That's going to hang over my edge a little bit, but that's okay. I think my envelope still has a little bit of room so that that doesn't get too out of the way. And then of course I'm going to pop this one up the top. And again, I might have a little overhang. So then I can pop in my little bud flowers, work out where they're going to go. Big one. I think I'll probably get them all in. So I'm going to go and adhere them. And I've also got my happy birthday sentiment. So I will put a mixture of dimensionals and a little bit of adhesive just to keep that nice and flat, because I'm going to pop it up. Oops, have I done it the wrong way? I do believe I have. Look at that. I always do that. Okay, so let's peel that one off if we can. Honestly, you need to double check sometimes, don't you? I do it all the time. It's tearing my card a little bit, but you know, it didn't tear all the way through. So just hope that my dimensional will stick to that side instead now. Oh, what do builders say? Check twice, cut once. Well, I need to check twice and dimensional once. Okay, so we're going to pop that down there. Try and get it straight. And then what you can do if you want is to put a little bit of Wink of Stella, just to give a little bit of a shimmer going on. A little bit of summer sparkle maybe. And then to finish our card off, I'm just going to pop a rhinestone, one of the small ones, inside each of the flower heads. Now there's also another stamp, this one here, and that one actually does the centers of the flowers if you want as well. So, but I'm going to pop rhinestones on, so I probably wouldn't see them. So I do have a class on at the moment using this very stamp set. The class is $36, which will get you just the stamp set. You can add on the dies if you want. Of course, you'll save you 10% discount when you do that. And you will make 6 cards, 3 designs, 2 of each. This is not one of them, and I think a postie has just arrived. So I'm going to wrap up really quickly, but if you are after the details for the class, which closes on the 26th, so this is being filmed on the 25th, you've got one more day to jump in if you would like. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I love this stamp set and I can't wait to play with it some more. Bye!